What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing 3 newly buffed Pokemon this season with Shadow Drillbur, which has Mud Slap, Shadow Cacturne, which received 2 buffs in Sucker Punch and Trailblaze, as well as Breloom, which got access to Force Palm. Now unfortunately I was only able to do 3 sets with this team as I was out playing football when the new season began, and I only had about half an hour to do as many battles as I could before the day ended, and I did want to do a few more sets with yesterday's Shadow Ghastly team, so it meant I was only left with 3 sets to do with this team, but I went very positive overall, and I have to say Shadow Cacturne is insanely fun to run. Sucker Punch is now a clone of what Counter used to be, pretty much the best fast move in the game. Cacturne is super attack weighted, and with Trailblaze costing less energy and boosting the attack with each use, this thing gets out of hand pretty fast. Now this team is definitely incredibly weak to flyers, but with the wing attack nerf I thought I'd probably see a lot less flying types this season, and I was still able to be a lot of flying types with this team anyway, so it wasn't even that bad. But with that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. Which newly buffed Pokemon have you had the most fun running so far this season? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so heading into the first battle is Shadow Drillbur into Shadow Machamp. So this is probably, I think, the only Shadow Machamp that I have faced so far that is actually running Karate Chop as the fast move, so incredibly fast to spam out those cross shops. I'm going to shield the first move here. I will just fire off the drill run straight away, as if I go for 1 extra Mud Slap, they're actually going to outpace me to the next charge move as well. But at this point I have put them into range where I'm happy to let the Drillbur go down, come in with my Breloom, go for the Force Palm farm down, and I will come out with a little bit of energy. Not too much here, but we're going to see the opponent's going to come in with a Shadow for Alligator, and this is absolutely fine with me. I'm going to fire off the Seed Bomb straight away. Seed Bomb will be grabbing the final shield from the opponent, and at this point I'm happy to just let the Breloom go down. The opponent fires off the Hydro Cannon, no problem there. I'm going to come in with the Shadow Cacturne, and they do just barely make it to another charge move. I will resist whatever they throw, but going to shield anyways, as we are very glassy, and they've got a Lowland Sand Slash in the back. We're running Dynamic Punch for coverage, and it will easily one-shot the Shadow Lowland Sand Slash, and I'm able to take that game. So GG to opponent there into next battle. We see Ferrothorn in the lead, so of course not a very good lead matchup. Gonna swap into my Shadow Cacturne, and I am running Dynamic Punch here. We've seen it land already. Unfortunately they do outpace me to the first charge move. I could live this. It would have just been either resisted Power Whip or a Thunder, but either way I shield, and they actually swap into Gastrodon, which is a huge mistake, as of course we're a grass type Pokemon, but unfortunately we get starter lag there. I'm not able to make it to the Trailblaze before they fire off the Body Slam, and I probably could have just barely lived the Body Slam there. It did get nerfed this season, but I'm going to go fire off the Trailblaze anyways, and they come in with Azumarill, and we are double boosted at this point. I'm going to fire off yet another Trailblaze, and if they commit to a full farm down here, which I think they're going for, we're going to make it to yet another Trailblaze, and this will quad boost our attack at this point. Trailblaze gets the one shot. We're going to swap into Breloom, completely hard wall the Ferrothorn there, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to open their into next battle. See Shadow Alone and Sand Slash in the lead, but they're actually running Powder Snow, so definitely not as good as it could be, but I'm going to shield anyways. You can see Mud Slaps dealing huge damage in this matchup. They're going to swap into Clodser, which is a very interesting swap here. Going straight for Drill 1, that does huge damage. We get the full Mud Slap farm down, and the opponent is just going to concede the match there. I don't know what they had in the back, but possibly triple weak to ground there, and Shadow Drillbur absolutely feasting in that battle. But GG's to opponent into next battle. See Poliwrath in the lead, so the opponent is actually just going to fire off a power-up punch, so absolutely fine with me. Power-up punch, not going to do too much damage there. I'm actually going to go for a Rock Tomb here just because I'm pretty much guaranteeing that they're going to shield, so I might as well drop their attack once again. We're going to come in with the Breloom, and again they are only going to make it to another power-up punch, so I'm happy to no shield this. A little bit risky just because I am very glassy. You can see even with just a power-up punch they get me into the yellow health range, but this is the good thing about this season. A lot of the flying types are going to be something like a Mandibuzz, where they've actually got no fast move pressure whatsoever. Of course, Aerial Ace going to hit for double super effective damage. They go for a Foul Play anyway, so not really sure why they did that, but either way, going to fire off the Seed Bomb here. I'm thinking Shadow Cacturne and Breloom have pretty similar coverage in terms of what moves they can throw, so I'm happy to let the Breloom go down. They go for Foul Play once again, so they must just not be running Aerial Ace there, but either way, we get the farm down. They come in with a Razor Leaf Cherrim, and this is going to be a very comfortable win for us here as we go for another Dynamic Punch, taking out the Cherrim, and I'm able to take that game. So GG set up on there into next battle, and one thing I will say actually is I wanted to run the Sludge Bomb on Breloom, but unfortunately I thought, you know what, I'm not going to waste as many charge TMs on a Pokemon that's already got a decent moveset there. Unfortunately, we lagged so much there, I didn't think they should be at a Shadow Ball there, but I guess we just didn't see any of the rollouts going through. Either way, we land the draw on, we're going to snipe with the Breloom here, and the opponent's going to come in with a Jump Luff, so this is definitely a matchup where if I had Sludge Bomb, this honestly wouldn't be that bad for us, but unfortunately Dynamic Punch is resisted. You can see we get them into the health range, which is pretty respectable here, but the opponent going to go and full send the acrobatics, which is great because if they're running Aerial Ace, honestly, we might as well just concede the match right now. But since we are running the Shadow Cacturne here and they're not running Aerial Ace, we will be able to go for a Trail Blaze, boost up our attack, definitely going to shield this as the opponent fires off another acrobatics here. They're going to swap into a Kanto Marowak, and this actually is a pretty good matchup for us, but unfortunately we're already very low. Bone Claw probably would get the KO from this range, so I'm going to fire off the Trail Blaze. They're going to be 2 Mud Slaps away from the next charge move, so I'm definitely going to try and make the catch, but we start to lag again, and unfortunately we're not able to make that catch. Bone Club gets the KO. I think even if we did make the catch there, we probably wouldn't have won that game anyways, but it is still very frustrating. But GG's to that opponent there. Into next battle, we see Lantern in the lead, so a great lead matchup for us. The opponent safe swaps into Vigoroth, and Vigoroth, by the way, just don't use it at all. It has been triple nerfed this season. Counters, of course, generating less energy, Body Slam dealing less damage, and Rock Slide dealing less damage, so you definitely don't want to run it, although I think I probably will try and run it at some point this season just because it has been nerfed to the ground, and I want to see actually, is it still usable at all? But either way, I'm going to fire off the Seed Bomb there. The opponent is going to fire off a charge. Unfortunately, Breloom here will just barely live the Surf, but it won't make it to a Seed Bomb, so probably the worst thing that could have happened there for us. Still not the end of the world. We can come in with a Shadow Cacturne, and I don't really want to shield and resist a charge move, so I let this go through, and a Thunderbolt does a lot of damage there, but they come in with a Zoom Reel. We are resisting the bubble damage, so hopefully we can make it to back-to-back Trailblazers. The first one does huge damage, it ramps up our attack, and we do make it to a second Trailblaze. We're going to fully undercharge it here because we can. Trailblaze gets the KO. We once again ramp up the attack there, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to opponent there. Into next battle, we see Clodsire in the lead, so a great lead matchup for the Shadow Drillbur. I'm just going to fire off the Drill Run straight away. I will outpace them before they make it to a potential Earthquake. And if they go for a Stone Edge, then of course that is resist damage. They have farmed up 2 of the Earthquakes, so I'm going to shield this, respect the damage, but it is just a bait there with the Stone Edge. But I believe this is just going to be another Stone Edge, so I'm going to no shield this. It is the Stone Edge, so we do resist that. We can go for the full Mud Slap, farm down, and they're going to come in with a Goodra, so I'm going straight for the Rock Tomb here just because I want to debuff their attack. Obviously, Drill Run probably would have done a little bit more damage there, and unfortunately, they've got a Talonflame, so once again, if I was running Sludge Bomb, honestly, this would be some decent chip damage here, but Dynamic Punch is resisted, but despite being resisted, it still does big damage there. But can we get the farm down with the Shadow Cacturne before they make it to back-to-back moves? And the opponent, you can see, they actually stalled there. They waited to see what came in, because if it was the Drillbur, they would have just farmed me down, but because of that, we're actually able to get the full farm down there. They make it to a charge move. This is just going to be a resisted Aquatail. We swap into Shadow Drillbur. We get the snipe with the Mud Slap damage, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's up over there. Internet's going to see Shadow Dragonair in the lead, so we are going to stay in with the Shadow Drillbur initially, and we are going to get a full Mud Slap in for free as they throw straight away. At this point, we're just going to swap into our Shadow Cacturne, and again, they've got another Talonflame. So once again, unfortunately, not great coverage here. I'm going to go for Dynamic Punch as this is single resisted instead of double resisted, but this one actually ends up shielding the charge move there. And to be fair, Sucker Punches have done a lot of damage already. We're going to make it to the Rock Tomb. I need them to shield this here, but the opponent is going... Oh, sorry, no shield that there. But unfortunately, they do shield, and Breloom can do literally nothing here. They're at back-to-back charge moves. Just going to no shield. They go for the Flame Charge. We actually lived that because we did debuff their attack. But either way, one more Incinerate takes us out, and unfortunately, we don't win that game. But GG setup over there, Internet's going to see Skarmory in the lead, and I did just stay in initially because, of course, the Steel Wing did get nerfed this season, so I wanted to make sure that they weren't running Air Slash before I swapped into my Breloom, and it turns out they're not running Air Slash, so that's great for us. We can go for a Seed Bomb here. Seed Bomb will not get the KO, but they're going to shield anyways, and we are just barely able to make it to a second Seed Bomb there, which is huge, and from this range, Seed Bomb will get the KO up against the Skarmory. They're going to come in with a Whiscash to get the Mud Shot farm down, but that's okay. We've got a Shadow Cacturne here. So gonna come in with the Cacturne, unless they massively overfarm, we can live this charge move pretty comfortably. And remember, Mud Shot energy generation is gonna be less this season, so I actually overfarm by 1 extra Sucker Punch, go for the Trailblaze. Trailblaze will get the 1-shot, so the opponent uses their final shield, and we're definitely gonna shield this, as I should just barely live this, but we don't know what they've got in the back, and they swap into Lantern, so this is perfect for me. We're already boosted. Trailblaze is once again going to ramp up our attack. We get the 1-shot up against the Lantern, and I'm not even going to need another charge move. We can go for a full Sucker Punch farm down, so the opponent just concedes the match there. So GG's to opponent there. Internet's going to see Conkeldurr in the lead. So once again, another counter user which has been nerfed this season, although Brutal Swing is now less energy. So technically it's still the same pacing for Conkeldurr to make it to that Brutal Swing. But either way, going to bank the energy, swap into our Breloom, and unfortunately they've got Decidueye in the back, which is definitely not good for us. Astonish did get buffed this season, so I think Decidueye will be fairly good this season. They get a full farm down, and at this point I realise I've already got a charge move. I might as well just come in with my Drillbur here, fire off the drill run straight away, hopefully grab a shield from the opponent, and we do grab the shield, as well as winning CMP with our Shadow Drillbur. So just gonna let the Spirit Shackle take us out there. We come in with the Shadow Cacturne, and look at that damage, we get the full farm down there. They come in with a Sudowoodo here, and we're just going straight for the Trailblaze. Trailblaze will get the 1-shot up against Sudowoodo, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to the opponent there. Into next game we see a Kanto Marowak in the lead. So I've got 2 grass types in the back. Gonna say swap into my Cacturne. Unfortunately met with a what's this thing called? I've completely forgotten what it's called. A Toxapex, that's the one. And we do ramp up our damage there, and we get them fairly low, but unfortunately a Brine will hit for super effective damage, so I'm definitely just going to shield this up here, and then we'll be able to go for a full Mudslap farm down before they make it to a second Brine though, which is very nice. And because we get this farm down here, we're going to make it to a Drill Run on the CMP tie with a potential Bone Club. At this point, I'm definitely not going to use my shield here. Drill Run grabs a shield from the opponent, just going to let the Drillbur go down here as the opponent goes for Bone Club. That actually doesn't KO, so we swap into our Breloom, and they've got a Dugong, and these Force Palms are hitting for huge damage, but likewise we're taking huge damage from the Ice Shards, and unfortunately Breloom is just very attack weighted, so despite the fact that Force Palm is a better fast move, they're just going to be able to outpace us for that damage, so I have to fire off the Seed Bomb here. But Seed Bomb means that I'm going to be energy dry, which means they can come in, get the Mudslap farm down, taking out both the Breloom and my Drillbur, and unfortunately we do lose that game. But GG's to the opponent there. Into the next battle, we're going to see a Crobat in the lead. So this is an awful lead matchup for us. We're just going to stay in. Hopefully we can land a Rock Tomb. I know this is just going to be either a Cross Poison or a Poison Fang. It is the Poison Fang. Then swap into Quagsire, and we've got to be very quick there. I probably would have preferred to swap into Breloom just because Breloom's going to have an awful matchup up against the Crobat. But either way, we swap out. We do bank the energy on our Drillbur. And I'm going to overfarm as much as I think I can here. Going to go for the Trailblaze. Unfortunately, not able to get a full Sucker Punch farm down. But we take them out there, and they come in with a Lucario, and we just barely make it to the Dynamic Punch. Dynamic Punch grabs the shield. That's probably better for us, honestly, because now we can come in with the Breloom, get a huge Force Palm farm down. I will come out with a charge we've loaded. I might as well shield that up because otherwise they will just go for a full Air Slash farm down with the Crobat. We make it to Dynamic Punch. Dynamic Punch grabs that final shield, and now we can snipe with a Rock Tomb from our Shadow Drillbur. Rock Tomb gets the KO, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to the opponent there. Into the final battle of this video, I do believe. We lead into Munchlax, so I'm expecting they're going to be running Lick, so I swap straight away into Cacturne, but they're actually running Tackle, so honestly not great, but we're an ABB style team, so it's not the worst thing to swap into a neutral matchup. And the opponent actually swaps into Azumarill, which I do not understand whatsoever. We've already seen a Gastrodon swapping into our Shadow Cacturne, which doesn't make sense, and now an Azumarill doing the same thing here. Gonna go for another Trailblaze. Trailblaze is going to grab a shield from the Azu. At this point, just gonna let this move go through here. They go for Play Rough. I'm thinking we might have just put them into Force Palm farm down range, and they are in perfect farm down range as they were running Play Rough. But again, unfortunately, we're met with a Jump Off. If I was running Sludge Bomb, honestly, I could probably fit this matchup with a significant energy advantage, but I'm not, and I will make it to another Dynamic Punch though, so that's not so bad. Dynamic Punch is going to be no shielded, but I realize I have to shield this because Mudslaps are triple resisted. They might deal more damage this season, but it's not going to be enough damage here. We're going to swap into our Shadow Drillbur here and basically just sponge this energy. They go for the Body Slam. Can we go for a full Mudslap farm down? It's close, but we do get that farm down and we come out with a Rock Tomb loaded. Honestly, I'd prefer, of course, if they just no-shield this move, but they shield it anyways, and Breloom is just barely able to make it to the charge move. They must be running like Dazzling Gleam and Solar Beam, but either way, we take out the Jump Laugh, and I'm able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to take your support even further, you can now become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has already become a channel member. Your support is greatly appreciated, and with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.